Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name's Tymo, and this is Tymo Paints. And in today's video, we're going to do a exterior paint job recap. But before we get started, I want to mention that I created a free estimating guide. It's a PDF, printable PDF with step-by-step instructions that'll help you guys bid your jobs. And that way you never underbid ever again. Because when I first got started, I would bid a job. They'd say, yes, I'll take it. When can you start? Immediately, I feel like I underbid, which does one of two things. One, it makes me feel like I should have raised my price. And two, I feel like I undercut all of the guys around me, which is not necessarily a good thing. So years and years went by. I used to just do hourly because it was the easiest thing to do. I say, yeah, I'll pay you by the hour, you buy the materials. But in the long run, I realized it's better to know how to estimate your jobs. So I actually came up with a standardized way, and I'll leave a link in the description, and also I'll pin it in a comment. So if you guys are interested in that free estimating guide, that way you never underbid a job ever again with this guide. So with that all being said, let's get into this video. This was a $3,200 job, labor only. The homeowner actually ended up buying the paint because he owns a hardware store and he got the paint for a discount. I did the majority of this house by myself. I did have a couple of people help, as you can see right here. I had one guy about a half a day help me get the majority of the backside of the house, and then the following day he was there for about a half a day to help me sand. Normally I'll roll solo, but I am gearing up to start hiring some people on full time again. Like we did have a couple guys in the past. But yeah, we're getting ready to hire on some guys and go full force, so I don't have to do all this work by myself. So we're spraying the stucco. This stucco had to be back rolled, so I had a guy help me out the first day back rolling, because if the stucco's never been painted before like this, it just had the color additive in it, and it's been sitting for about 20 years, which means it was in desperate need of a good solid paint coat. So we applied the paint, back rolled it in, and then on top of that we put a top coat on it. So I had two nice good solid coats. And you can see here the color looks pretty blue. The homeowner actually was anticipating it to be gray, but after we got it up on the wall, he realized that that's a lot of blue, and he already paid for and purchased for the paint. So what we ended up doing was adding on a couple accents out in the front area and in the back there. All that green stuff that you saw will be white in the end too, like all the soffit, like porch patio cover deal. All the posts and the beams would all be white. And in the front here, there's little corbel areas and the vents. We actually added on in that white, so we upsold him a little bit on that. He had a little shed on the side too that we tore down, and I think I charged him a couple $100 for that. So that was a couple little extra bonus on the job. We were already there. And oftentimes too, I'll get asked if I do other things. Like for instance, when I bid this job, there was a big shed in the way. And he was like, this shed is going to get torn out. I don't know if you are able to do something like that, or if you know somebody. So I was like, hey, you know what? I could do that. And the cool thing about it is if you did do any kind of damage to the house while removing the shed, it just so happens that I know a painter that could fix the stucco and repaint it. So this house had a lot of stucco issues, as a matter of fact. Had a lot of cracking. And so we used like a silicone-based caulking material that has some like sand and some grit and a little bit of color in it, and then you put that in the cracks real good and feather it in, prime and paint, just like normal. So I'm spraying the garage door here. Make sure you always go up and down when you spray garage doors. Sometimes I'll go left or right, but I realize that going up and down is usually the best, because you reduce your chances of not keeping a wet edge, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this job was a word of mouth job. The guy owns the hardware store here in town, and I guess he asked around and just heard. Also, we kind of grew up together. We were in the same school. He's a few years older than I am. But I live in the town that I graduated high school in still. And we won't talk about how long ago that was. But check it out. If you're in the business and, you're having a hard time figuring out how to estimate the jobs and make some money painting, and you're just charging hourly, and it's bumming you out because it's hourly, you're not able to get ahead. So I created a free estimating guide, standardized estimating guide with step-by-step checklists on how to fill it out. And if you're interested in that, it'll be the top link in the description, and also I'll pin it in the comments. So subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.